Namaskar students, we are studying about carbon and carbon and its compound. We have been studied in our previous lecture what is the carbon and what type of different form of carbons, and in this study we divided into two parts. One is crystalline compound or another is specifically amorphous. That means carbon has a two form. One is crystalline form and another one called amorphous form. In crystalline form, we discuss again three different forms, that is diamond and carbon. And today's lecture we are going to study remaining form or remaining allotropes called fullerene. I hope you heard this word or you learned about fullerene in your previous standard, or you may be or you will study it in your higher standard as well. But today's lecture, whatever we discuss about fullerene and its structure, please try to understand carefully, because this structure is different from remaining two. Remaining two means carbon and graphite. Carbon has a different structure, that means it is tetrahedral shape and one carbon attached with different four type of carbon. While in the case of structure of graphite, we discuss graphite has a layer structure. What type of structure? Layer structure. But while in the case of fullerene, fullerene has a ball type structure. Matlab it is like football ball. But in this case, specific manner, the arrangement of carbon atom in specific manner, it is also uh, showing in fullerene structure, right? So today's lecture we are going to study about the structure of fullerene, and then we will go into the classification of remaining compound of carbon. So what is the difference between remaining and what we learn uh, in this lecture or in our previous lecture about the carbon and its compound? Generally, we right now we are discussing only carbon atom. That means based on different structurally, or it is a different structure based on the structure. Carbon has a different form, that is diamond, graphite and fullerene. But if carbon is attached with or carbon combined with another atom except with including carbon, so we can call them uh, remaining carbon compound. That means carbon and its compound, that is different thing, and specifically only carbon compound containing, that is different thing. So up to now we discuss only carbon compound, that means carbon atom containing compound. So last two compound we discuss, that is diamond and graphite. So today's lecture we are going to remaining form called fullerene. So you can see here, it is also known as Buckminster fullerene. It is also known as Buckminster fullerene. So Buckminster fullerene is another crystalline allotropic form of carbon and discovered recently. That means fullerene is a discovered in 19th century. It is not accessed before 19th century. So it was discovered recently. After that, the fullerenes molecules are synthesized by subjecting graphite to sublimating using laser radiation. Again, the vapor form is subsequently cooled in the atmosphere of noble gas. So how fullerene will prepare or synthesize? You can see here. Suppose we have a graphite. if we sublime the graphite, sublimation process, we know when graphite is a solid form. When solid substance converted into directly vapor, so it's as sublimation. That means if we sublime graphite at 5 to 7 degrees centigrade, then in the presence of laser radiation, so it is a one type of sources of light, so it will convert it into fullerene, right? It will convert it into fullerene. But after converted into fullerene, that is form of gas. It is form and gas, and which is also collecting gas is also connecting with noble gas, right? So this is how we can prepare fullerene from graphite. Now after formation of fullerene, fullerene has a different type of number of carbon. So based on that, fullerene made the structure of fullerene. Suppose if I say the fullerene containing or fullerene contain C16 carbon in major form, मतलब majority carbon is C16. After that it also contains C17 and it also contain greater than or up to but these both are in traceous form. So you can see in fullerene structure we can see 16 carbon as well as C17 and up to traces amount of up to 365 carbon. So you can see in fullerene structure generally fullerene molecule mainly consist of C16 with amount of C17 and traces amount of other fullerene consisting of even number of up to 350. Here I mention up to 350, but carbon is in even number, not odd number, right? So you can see in fullerene structure generally mainly consists C16 one small amount of C17 carbon and traces amount of other fullerene, that is up to 350 carbon, but carbon is always present in even number. Even number means either we can divide into two parts. So you can see, so fullerene is a not specifically atomic structure, but in fullerene contain mainly C16 carbon, smaller amount of C17 and fullerene also consists. But if we see specifically major amount of carbon contains C16, that means one structure contain 60 carbon. But in this structure also consist 12 pentagon ring and 20 hexagon ring. Here it contains 12 pentagon ring and 20 hexagon ring. Now what is the meaning of pentagon ring and hexagon ring? Let us try to understand with the help of its structure. So you can see in this structure This is the ball type of structure you can see, and here black spot which indicate carbon. Now it contain, this is suppose if we consider this is 16 type of full ring, matlab it consists 60 number of 60 carbon, matlab 60 carbon. Now it contain two types of ring, matlab structure is made from uh, ring, specifically 5-member ring and 6-member ring. 5-member ring is nothing but pentagon ring, and 6-member ring is nothing but hexagon ring. Is nothing but hexagonal ring. How we can see? You can see here, suppose structure containing how many rings? Total 12 ring is pentagon ring. While in the case of hexagon ring, that is pentagon ring means it contain 5 carbon ring or 5 carbon containing ring. It is also we can represent like this. So you can see total number of carbon 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Right. So it contain 5 carbon. That means 5 carbon containing ring is nothing but pentagon ring, and this ring which is also present in the full ring structure. Suppose if we talk about hexagon ring, in hexagon ring 6 carbon are present in a ring. That means 6 carbon containing ring. It is known as hexagon ring. It is also represented by this manner. Right. So it is known as hexagon ring, means it contain 6 carbon, and pentagon ring contain 5 carbon. Okay. So in full range structure, there are in full range structure and specifically C16 carbon, there are 12 pentagon ring are present, and pentagon ring and hexagon ring are specifically combined to form full ring structure. Right. So there are many pentagon ring and hexagon ring are present, but you can see here corner it contain carbon. So based on that we can identify it is hexagonal ring or it is whether it is pentagonal ring. So you can see this ring is belongs to 6-member ring, that means hexagonal ring. While in the case of, if we consider this one, so this is a pentagon ring. So in full ring structure, total 20 hexagonal ring is present, while in the case of pentagon ring, that is 12 total 12 pentagon ring is present. So this is how the structure of ring are made. So you can see in this structure, first of all we should identify 5 membering and then 6 membering. So you can see if we consider this one, this atom and this atom, so you can see this is member ring, so it is known as pentagon ring. While in the case of hexagon ring, how we can see, you can consider this one, this and this one. So you can see if we consider, it is known as hexagon ring. right? Hexagon ring. So fullerene C16 structure is made from pentagon ring as well as hexagon ring. But how many pentagon ring is present? That is 12, and hexagon is, that is 20. And this is how the structure of C16 fullerene is made. And this is actually, you can see, this is the structure of fullerene. But actually fullerene contain C60 carbon containing structure as well as some traces amount of C70 as well as some traces amount of a higher number of carbon also present, but that is in even number, right? Now you can see the physical property. It is also nothing but Buckyminster fullerene is substance density is 1.65 gram per cc, and that is sublimes at 270 to 27 degree temperature, and refractive index, that is 2.2, as we discussed in previous structure as well. So this is for basic information. It is not, it is like not conceptual. Now we discuss, up to now we discuss three allotropes of carbon, that is diamond, fullerene and graphite. But it consists only, or it made from only carbon atom. But generally carbon is carbon also carbon containing compound also form when carbon is combined with another atom. So generally classification of organic compound, generally carbon form million of compound. It combines only with few elements and cheaply with hydrogen. Generally carbon is combined with many elements, but generally it combined with and other atom, that is oxygen, nitrogen, halogen, sulfur and etc. But majorly carbon is combined with hydrogen and remaining atom, that is oxygen, nitrogen, halogen, sulfur and on the basis of organic compounds which contain only carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. As we know that if carbon containing compound, if only carbon and hydrogen is present in the compound or element, so which this compound is known as hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbon is nothing but the presence of carbon and hydrogen only, nothing else. And those contain other elements are called organic compound with heteroatoms. That means now we categorize carbon and its compound into two categories. One is if only carbon and hydrogen is present in the compound. One is hydrocarbon, and hydrocarbon is nothing but carbon plus hydrogen. Remaining is nothing but, we can see, organic compound with organic compound atom. Heteroatom is nothing but remaining atom that is nitrogen, oxygen and sulfur. It is known as organic compound. It is, we can say, right, and there are many atoms is present, so it is known as organic compound. Now initially carbon compound is divided into two categories. One is hydrocarbon and remaining is organic. Is nothing but organic is nothing but hydrocarbon, but organic compound contain carbon plus remaining which is also present in organic compound, and that is mainly nitrogen, oxygen, halogen and sulfur, right? While in the case of hydrocarbon, only hydrogen and carbon is only present in this compound, right? And this is how we can categorize into two parts. Now, on the basis of structure of bonding and chemical behavior, on the basis of structure, bonding and chemical behavior, the hydrocarbons are classified into mainly two categories, namely aliphatic and aromatic hydrocarbon. So you can see again, now hydrocarbon is categorized into two parts, that is aliphatic and aromatic. So how we can see? Number one is aliphatic. Now how we can identify the compound is aliphatic or aromatic, that we will discuss, but right now hydrocarbon is classified into two categories. Hydrocarbons is categorized into two parts, that is number one aliphatic hydrocarbon and aromatic hydrocarbons. Based on structure and bondings. Again, aliphatic hydrocarbon is divided into two parts. One is acyclic compound or acyclic aliphatic hydrocarbon and cyclic aliphatic hydrocarbon. Acyclic is nothing but open compound as well, or open aliphatic hydrocarbons. Again, acyclic or open compound divided into two parts, that is saturated hydrocarbon and unsaturated. So first of all, we will try to understand in aliphatic hydrocarbon what type of this category and its compound and how we can identify, right? And later we will discuss aromatic compound, but initially we do not know aliphatic hydrocarbons and aromatic hydrocarbons. Generally I can say one things: aliphatic compound, if we burn, then it not produce, it is like fume, like black particle fumes, while in the case of while we burn aromatic compounds, aromatic is nothing but hydrocarbon, hydrogen and carbon compound. But basically how we can differentiate? We can differentiate based on structure and bonding and its behavior as well, alright. But when we burn aliphatic hydrocarbon, black mesh is not produced, while in the case of aromatic hydrocarbon, black mesh is produced, right? That is how we can initially differentiate based on practical approach. Let us, we will discuss, later we will discuss how we can differentiate based on structure. If I draw one structure, how we can identify this structure is aliphatic or aromatic. So first of all, if we understand aliphatic and its different compound, and then aromatic, then we can easily understand how, firstly how we can classify and understand aliphatic and aromatic and what is the difference between aliphatic and aromatic, right? But firstly we start with aliphatic hydrocarbon. Again, aliphatic hydrocarbon is divided into two parts or two categories, that is acyclic or open hydrocarbons and cyclic hydrocarbons. Now how we can identify or how we can differentiate between acyclic or open or cyclic compound? Suppose if we consider one example. First category, that is acyclic. Right. Suppose if I draw one compound CH3, CH3, CH2, CH3. if we see in all this structure, here in all this structure, if I say what is the difference between in these three, so you can see the number of carbon in different in all this structure. But the similar concept is in all this structure, at least terminal carbon, terminal means after starting chain and ending chain, the terminal carbon is open. That means it is not associated with another carbon. You can see if I say this carbon, now this carbon attached with only this carbon, it is not attached with any other carbon. That is known as terminal carbon. I can say it is known as terminal carbon. So in acyclic compound, terminal carbon is present and it is not associated with another carbon. So if terminal carbon is present in the compound is known as acyclic compound. The compound is known as acyclic compound. You can see here this one, and this one, three terminal carbon. So that is why the compound is known as or belong to acyclic categories. Now if we consider number third here, this carbon is not attached with another carbon. This carbon is also not attached with another carbon, and this one also. So you can see in all the gas terminal carbon is present. When in compound terminal carbon is present, terminal means it is not associated with or attached with remaining carbon. So it is known as terminal carbon. But while in the case of cyclic compound, terminal carbon is not present. That means all carbon attached with each other. Right? So this compound is known as acyclic. But if terminal carbon is present, then the compound is known as acyclic. Suppose if we consider cyclic, if we take example cyclic compound. So here you can see in this compound. Hello. So you can say in this compound, suppose this compound contain 4 carbon and it is also represents like this as well. So you can see what is the difference between these two compound, that is here in this case or acyclic compound terminal carbon is present, while in the case of you can see in all the carbon attached with all different carbon, meanings all the carbon attached with another carbon or another atom. So it made cyclic. It is, you can say it is structure like cycle. So it is, that is why this type of compound is known as cyclic compound. So this type of compound is known as cyclic compound. So that is how we can differentiate acyclic compound and cyclic compound. Okay, I hope you get some sense or clarity about or differentiate different between acyclic compound and cyclic compound. Right. So this is how we can differentiate acyclic compound and cyclic compound. Acyclic compound contain terminal carbon, while in the case of cyclic compound it not contain terminal carbon, and it made cycle. So that is why we can call them cyclic compound. To form cyclic compound, at least minimum 3 carbon is required. So you can see if 2 carbon is present, then cycle is not formed. Or we can write like this as well. Right. So this is how we can differentiate acyclic compound and cyclic compound. Right. So this is category of cyclic and acyclic. Again, acyclic compound or open compound is divided into 2 categories, saturated and unsaturated. Here another thing I would like to mention, that is in acyclic compound it is not form ring, that is why it is open. So that is why it is also known as open compound. Right. Now we will try to understand how we can differentiate acyclic into two categories, that is saturated and unsaturated. These things also we discuss. Now we are going to differentiate saturated or unsaturated. What is the difference between saturated and unsaturated? First of all, what is saturated compound? So first we understand its concept, and then this concept we will apply in different type of saturated molecule, and then we can get clarity about saturated hydrocarbons. So in the acyclic hydrocarbon, there are absence of multiple bond in molecule. That means absent of multiple bond in molecule. That means there is a no multiple bond present in the carbon skeleton. That means if we see in molecule, if no carbon between multiple bond, that means carbon has a no multiple bond, that means only single bond is present in the molecule. So this type of molecule is known as saturated hydrocarbon or saturated molecule. After that, hydrocarbon is referred to saturated hydrocarbon called alkanes. Saturated is nothing but alkanes. These things also we will understand. After that, in saturated hydrocarbons, valencies of all carbon atoms are satisfied by single covalent bond. As we know that carbon has a 4 valency, and all the 4 valency is satisfied by with single bond. It is satisfied with single bond. If it is satisfied with single bond, then the compound is known as saturated hydrocarbon, or we can say alkanes. Another thing, the general formula of the saturated hydrocarbon is CnH2n plus 2. This is very important. If we want to identify the compound is whether alkane, alkene or alkyne, we can identify based on its common formula. This is also we will understand with the help of different example. At that time we get more clarity about this general formula. So it is also known as generally paraffins. Alkane is known as generally paraffins. This is the common way we call them. So you can see in this example, in this compound, in all bond are single bond. That means all the carbon valencies is satisfied with single bond. So that is why this compound is known as saturated hydrocarbon. That means absent of multiple bond, only single bond is present in our compound. So it is known as alkane. So you can see in second example as well, there is a no multiple bond in this case as well. Now this is we discuss about saturated compound. Now how we can differentiate unsaturated compound? Unsaturated compound, in this case, in carbon skeleton hydrocarbon होना चाहिए acyclic molecules, there are one or more multiple bond. This is very important. Multiple bond is present. One or more. वन भी हो सकता है और इससे ज्यादा भी हो सकता है, right? Present between the carbon atom is known as saturated hydrocarbon. That means one multiple bond is also present, and more than one multiple bond may also present in the molecule. So that type of compound is known as unsaturated hydrocarbons. After that, they are called unsaturated hydrocarbon. Definitely on the types of multiple bond, they are further classified into alkane and alkynes. So again, multiple based on multiple bond, we can classify into two categories, alkane and alkynes. So what is the difference between alkane and alkyne we can try to understand with this example. So in alkene compound or unsaturated hydrocarbon containing at least one carbon-carbon double bond. This is the very important things. So alkane contain at least minimum one carbon-carbon double bond. Double bond means, as you know, that the bond between two carbon is double. That means here two bond is present. That means it is known as double bond. If it in compound at least one double bond is present, then the compound is known as alkene. But alkene is specifically categorized into unsaturated. Why? Because compound contain at least one or more multiple bond. Multiple bond is nothing but except single bond, or with single bond as well. But single bond also may present. If the double bond also present, we consider as a alkene, right? We consider the compound as a alkene. And the general formula of alkene, that is alkenes, that is CnH2n, not plus 2. The general formula of alkene, that is CnH2n. Okay. And the commonly also known as olefins. It is also known as olefins. Alkane we can call paraffin, while in the case of alkene we can say olefins. So you can say in both the compound, you can see one multiple bond is nothing but double bond is present between two carbon. Here also present double bond. So the compound is known as alkene, right? The compound is known as alkene, right? Now second category, it is known as alkyne. Alkyne is nothing but the unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least carbon-carbon triple bond. That is very, very important. In the case of alkene, double bond is present, while in the case of alkyne, triple bond is present. And the general formula of alkyne, that is CnH2n minus 2. This is very, very important. And the compound is commonly called as acetylene. So you can say in both the compound, at least in between two carbon, one triple bond is present. Here you can say one triple bond is present. So this type of compound is known as alkanes. At least, what is the difference between alkane and alkyne? So based on number of bond, if all the bond is single, then the compound is known as alkene. If in compound only one double bond also present, then the compound will become alkene. If triple bond is present, then the compound we can say alkanes. Now how we can differentiate and how we can understand easy way? So if we get more clarity, if we understand the hydrocarbon with its general formula, and we can easily classify into three categories. So hydrocarbon, specifically cycle, is divided into three parts: alkane, alkene, and alkyne. Now alkane is nothing but saturated, while alkene is unsaturated, alkene. But unsaturated. Alkyne is also nothing but unsaturated. Unsaturated means multiple bond is present. Now the general formula of alkane, that is CN H2N plus 2. That means total number of carbon and total number of hydrogen. That means if it in case carbon is 6 and so how many hydrogen is present, then almost double hydrogen is present, and after double we can add plus 2. So total number of hydrogen is present in alkane, that is CnH2n plus 2. After that, in the case of alkene, the general for that means double of carbon, the hydrogen is present. While in the case of alkyne, double of carbon but minus 2 hydrogen is present. Suppose if we consider these three general formula and we can differentiate or we can identify whether the compound is alkane, alkene or alkyne. Suppose if we take one example. So you can see in this compound 3 carbon is present. Here N is represent number of carbon. This is very important. Here N is equal to number of carbon. Suppose the carbon in this case, the carbon is 3. So carbon is 3. If we apply this compound formula into its general formula, so you can see here it will goes into alkane category. Now you can see if we keep N is equal to 3, then it will become like this. So the formula will become C3, 3 into 6 plus 2 H8. So you can see this compound or hydrocarbon is belongs to alkane. Suppose in this case you can see here 3 carbon is present. So total number of carbon is that is 3. Here if we keep N is equal to 3, then the formula will become C3H6. So compound will become C3H6 and this compound is belong to alkene. But this formula is also attributed in this general formula. Right? This is how we can say this compound is alkene. So here the total number of carbon is 6, but in this case we apply N is equal to 3 and this formula. Finally the formula will become C3H4 because 3 into 2, 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. So the formula of this compound, that is C3H4, and which is belongs to alkyne. But if you see in all the case, here total number of hydrogen in this case is 8, but carbon is same all the case. Here 8, here will become 6, and here in this case it will become 2. So now gradually if the multiple bond is increases, then 2 hydrogen is decreases. That means we can say one multiple bond or one bond is equal to 2 hydrogen. So what is the difference between alkane, alkene and alkyne? Here in this case of alkene, all the single bond is present. That means general formula will become CnH1 plus 2. But in the case of alkene, one double bond is present. That means at least one double bond is present. Then one double bond is exists, then 2 hydrogen will be less. If one double bond is present, then 2 hydrogen will be less, because here we concluded one bond is equal to 2 hydrogen. While in the case of in this compound, you can see the total number of carbon and here total number of hydrogen. In this case here 2 hydrogen is also decreases, because here 2 multiple bond is present. That means 2 multiple bond means 4 hydrogen. 1 means 2 hydrogen and 2 means 4 hydrogen. So here in this case, in this compound, 4 hydrogen is less as compared to its parent alkane. So you can see here how many hydrogen is less? 4. Here total hydrogen is 8 and here total hydrogen is 4. So that is how we can differentiate alkane, alkene and alkyne. But this is the category of acyclic compound, acyclic. Here in this case, we are not discussing cyclic compound. Here we discuss in all the case acyclic compound. That means terminal hydrogen is present. Okay, so with this we concluded this lecture, and next lecture we will discuss about the cyclic compound and remaining classification. But till now you will try and solve different type of molecule, whether you will able to find or differentiate the difference between alkane, alkene and alkyne, right? Okay, धन्यवाद.